clients are on LinkedIn, but are you? And how's that working for you? Odds are, if you've clicked on this video, you're hoping it'll work a little bit better, but we've got you covered. We're gonna dive into the subject of how to market effectively on LinkedIn. And when I say we, I'm talking about me, LizJSimpson, founder of the Big Money Movement, as well as
Cheryl Parks
and Heather Petherick,
our esteemed coaches at the Big Money Movement. All right, so if we're gonna talk about marketing on LinkedIn effectively, first and foremost, I want you to think about buyer behavior. We know that in the digital age that the majority of the buyer's process is done digitally, meaning that they turn to sources like Google or their digital network to identify who are the professional service providers that they want to work with. And we think about how to position yourself effectively on LinkedIn to catch those buyers when they got their purse in hand or when they're like, oh shoot, how do I solve this problem? First and foremost, we gotta talk about your LinkedIn profile, all right? So LinkedIn is one of the top 5 indexing sites with Google. It's a fancy way of saying that your LinkedIn profile, odds are, will show up in one of the top results on Google if you search your name. Check your name, don't do it now, wait till the video's over, but I challenge you to Google your name on LinkedIn. So if we know that buyers are Googling, self-educating, turning to solutions online, and if we know that odds are when they search something that a LinkedIn profile is gonna show up, the question becomes, is your LinkedIn profile attracting business opportunities or is it repelling them? Like, I don't see anything on here that makes me think this is the person for me, right? So start out with your LinkedIn profile. And when you think of your LinkedIn profile, you wanna put yourself in the shoes of your buyer. I love the book, well actually it's not the book, but I love the reference from David A. Fields where he calls this right side up thinking. And the idea of right side up thinking is to shift the narrative from, I am LizJSimpson and these are my accomplishments and this is where I went to school and this is all the things that I've done. And instead of it's, oh my goodness, I work with these buyers and I know these are the challenges that you're encountering and I know these are the changes that you're facing and I know this is the vision that you've cast and I know your concerns are how you're going to get there. So that when my buyer interacts with my brand, my LinkedIn profile, they're like, oh my gosh, they have got like neck spasms because they're shaking their head so hard, like, yes, this chick gets it, right? And so that's what your LinkedIn profile should do. It should speak to your ideal buyer and you can do it in an effective way so that you catch some of those SEO keywords and searches. Cheryl and Heather, outside of profile, how else do you think someone can market effectively on LinkedIn?
I'm going to jump in. So next to having a really well optimized profile, the next challenge is to make sure that you're demonstrating your expertise and your body of work. And we do this by strategically and intentionally choosing what is the content that we're posting.
Yes.
So many of our members become masterful at articulating the problems that they solve and the outcomes that they deliver for their buyer, so that when the buyer comes to their LinkedIn profile and looks at the digital footprint they have of the content, maybe it's LinkedIn Lives, maybe it's articles, or simply posts that they're creating, it's obvious that they are the solutions, they're a solution provider for them.
I agree. I know we've talked about the statistics of LinkedIn, and one of those glaring statistics being that only 1% of LinkedIn users publish consistently on the platform. So, when we talk about our members, when they're publishing consistently that right content, they stand out from the noise in the marketplace because not enough people are doing that.
Right, and such an opportunity for when you have the right strategy, you've got the positioning, you've got the language to articulate and speak in your buyer's language, how powerful and how magnetic that LinkedIn profile can be. We talk about cadence and having a regular cadence for posting, demonstrating, and calling in that buyer based on what they're posting, and it just works so well.
It does. I know we've read so many reports about how trust is critical in today's age, right? Like we went from, limited access to information to now access to information overload, right? And so now the buyers are like, oh shoot, there's so much noise in the marketplace. Who do I trust to translate these data and insights, right? And so that consistency then creates trust.
Yes.
Cheryl, I feel like you were gonna say something.
I'm just gonna add in this one point that it's courageous to show up consistently, right?
Yes.
So sometimes it feels like, I don't know what to say. I don't know who would want to hear what I have to say?
Who am I to post this content?
Right, but at the end of the day, your experience, your life experience, your professional experience, your view of the world is extremely important. And there are BMM members, Big Money Movement members who have closed six-figure deals
Yeah.
because their view of the world was exactly what that corporate buyer wanted
Yes.
from the outside looking in.
100%. 100%. Outside of, okay, so we talk about profiles, we talk about consistently publishing content, which is critical. What other areas do you think are important?
Yeah, so it's like we're going through the ABCs, and I'm DMs, okay? I'm in the
Slide
DMs.
into the DMs.
I'm in the DMs, but you don't want to be in the DMs just outwardly pitching and pushing.
Spamming.
You don't want to be in the
No.
DMs outwardly pitching and pushing. You literally want to understand by actually going through the profile and looking into the about section, understanding what's important to your buyer. Sometimes people have it filled out, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Take a look at what they're engaging on, and then say something relevant. Don't say,
Buy my
"Hey,
stuff."
it's nice to meet you. Can you tell me what you do?"
Oh my gosh. Can we pause on that? That is such a pet peeve of mine.
Yes.
Like, it's like in a digital age, please do your diligence to learn something about someone. I have so many organizations or salespeople who reach out and say, oh, or even just professionals who are like, oh, Liz, I'd love to learn more about you. I'm like, I got a book. Like, if you Google my name, there are pages of content. Like, I'm not interested in bringing you up to speed on who I am, right? Like, come with something else. Okay, that's like a soapbox for me.
Yes. Let me add one more thing. This how's business going for you?
Ugh.
Or hello with a wait for a response. Listen, step in, direct, ask if you will. But candidly, the more effective way to do it would be, again, to take a look at what the buyer has in their profile and understand where you can provide relevant, valuable information or just a clear introduction, right? Deposit, withdrawal potentially, right?
does that mean?
So, we talked in talking a little bit about Stephen Covey's book where he talks about the emotional bank account, so to speak. So you can't withdraw from a bank account if it's empty, right? I think we've all been there.
Yes.
Right?
Sounds like fraud.
So yeah, that's not what you want to do. So at the end of the day, you'll need to deposit into the emotional bank account, showing up consistently, doing what you say you're going to do, adding some value, being relevant to today's world and what's going on, and being human. Let me add that in there as well. And then potentially when you get some engagement from the buyer, it's not, this isn't linear again. When you get some engagement from the buyer or from your prospect, that might be the opportunity to say, would it be worth 15 minutes to jump on a call and just introduce ourselves and see where this might take us? You can use your own language, whatever feels comfortable for you and whatever leads you to it from the prospect standpoint, right? They're going to help you understand who they are in the dialogue.
Yeah. I find this, how we conduct ourselves inside of the DMs and LinkedIn and our ability to reach out and make a connection and open opportunity for conversation is such a stressor for new business owners. They know there's tremendous opportunity to connect with their buyers on LinkedIn, but how the heck do you do it without either annoying, offending, or being totally spammy? And that's one of the things I think is really powerful inside of the Big Money movement is we're able to give our members real strategies, real tangible ways to authentically and magnetically connect with buyers without ever feeling like a spammy salesperson, but really create conversation and relationship from a place of authenticity and providing outcomes. I love that.
I think you said it best with you're creating relationships. And that's how you have to see it. I think when we talk about landing corporate clients, it's a small world, right? And your reputation precedes you. So be cognizant of how you create relationships or how you navigate marketing your business. There are some brands or leaders who I've had respect for from their digital footprint. And then I will get automation, right? And and I know it's automation. Okay, PSA, no human being is bewildered, confused, or or like does not know. Like we see automation coming a mile away. Like AI is not at the point yet where you send me an automated message and I don't know that it's an automated message. And I would rather you admit that than insult my intelligence to act like we're having a real conversation, right? Or for you to say, well, this is the last message I will send. Well, thank God, because I never asked you
To start.
to be in my DM. Will you stand on that promise that this is the last inbox message I'm getting? So I love that. So there's the profiles, publishing consistently. And then building relationships in the DMs, humanizing the process,
Yes.
right? I love it. I think if someone focuses on those 3 key areas, they will be head and shoulders above their competition. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That being said, we've talked about how to leverage LinkedIn specifically for marketing, but when we talk about landing corporate clients, that's not the only means to get a corporate client. Matter of fact, there's actually some simpler, more effective methods, if I dare say. So click the next video now.